Hello. Hello. This is Sideways 8 again. Last video, I was talking about the premises of brainwashing, the idea and structure behind many cult making techniques. The main idea behind these techniques is as follows: to give you a goal that to give you something that makes you sick, and when you become sick, tell you that you are becoming healthier. I illustrated this concept with the idea of the piss poor diet technique. Now, what a cult leader will do will tell the person to have a low fat, low energy, low sugar, low nutrition, low carb, and low protein diet, a very bad diet, for a set amount of time. Now, when the person's hair starts falling out and when their thinking gets muddled and they can't speak straight and they start getting blisters on their gums and blemishes on their skin, they go up to the cult leader, the person that has earned this target's trust and confidence. Will say, "Hey, these things are happening to me. What's going on wrong?" Nothing's going wrong. It's a sign you're doing things right. It's a sign you're getting closer to God. It's a sign that you're becoming more woke if it's a feminist cult. It's a sign that you are getting skinnier. Look how skinny you are. Oh, and that's just all these things are signs that you're becoming healthier and a better person. Keep up the good work. Let that sink in. What the cult leader is out to do is to make you sick as hell. And when you're sick as hell, tell you that this sickness is a sign of good health. And the more they convince you that this is true, the sicker you get, the easier you are to control, influence, and exploit. So, but that's not the only way of doing it. That's not the only style. Another way of doing this is called the cosmopolitan theory. Cosmopolitan theory is the beauty magazine for women. The one that says how to give your man head 15 ways in order to drive him insane and love you. That kind of bullshit. What it does is it shows all these airbrush models that and apply that this is the standard of beauty. It's an impossible standard of beauty. You cannot obtain it. But they say that they imply that if you want to be beautiful, attractive, have a man, not die lonely, if you want to be sexy, you got to look like this. Part of the program is, yes, you buy the products that have been advertised in our magazine. But then what ends up happening is the person looks in the mirror and compares herself to this image that they see on the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine. And what will happen is the person will begin dieting and the person will start exercising. And of course they'll buy some more products. At first they're enthusiastic about the project. But after a certain amount of time they've gotten skinnier, they've gotten healthier, good for them. But they're not like the woman on the cover. So what happens is they end up with more intensity, dieting more, cutting down calories more, start eating less, and then they start exercising more with more intensity and longer durations. After a set period of time of this, they look in the mirror and they start upping the intensity on the diet. And this cycle continues. And the reason why they're doing this is every time they look in the mirror and see that they're not up to this unobtainable standard, they get more insecure. And when they get more insecure, they start saying that there's something wrong with them. And no one likes to know there's something wrong with them. So they double down on the efforts and make their efforts more intense. So what you get is Compare and contrast. Realize you're not there. Feel awful. Feel insecure. Buy more products. Exercise more. Diet more with more intensity. And the cycle continues until it becomes pathological. Now, the person who is trying to obtain this impossible beauty standard is now bulimic, now anorexic, is having eating disorders, is having mental disorders because they are insecure because they can't obtain this standard, and plus because of their exercising and dieting regime, and they're hurting themselves by the intensity and duration of their exercise. And then the more self-destroying themselves is, and the more insecure they become, the more products they buy, and the more they end up adhering and buying more of the magazine in order to find the secrets to perfect beauty. This is the same technique. The technique of give you one thing that makes you sick as hell, then tell you that when you get sick as hell, that you're becoming healthier, becoming a good person. You're on your way. It's the same doublethink. In this case, they set up a standard they know you'll never achieve. Then when you fail, you feel shitty as hell. So you end up doubling down your efforts and cycle into and spiral into a cycle of self-destruction. And the more you destroy yourself, the more products you buy, the more you buy the magazine, and so forth. Every ideal and every person who uses this is a scumbag, an objectifiable, real-life villain. This is a sure evil. But this cosmopolitan's not the only one. Social justice and political correctness does the same thing, only they take it one step further. They tell you that we must end racism. Then they prescribe a method to end racism that generates the exact opposite. Once that prescribed method of eliminating racism creates the exact opposite and increases racism, what happens is people implement it, say, hey, wait, this idea is never wrong. We want to end racism. It couldn't be our fault. So what happens is they end up doubling down on that prescribed method to end racism, which is intentionally designed to generate more racism. A good example of this is unchecked immigration. We must end racism. The prescribed goal, the prescribed method to do this is unchecked immigration, open borders. Open borders ends up creating more chaos, more conflict, and more trouble and tensions within the host country and the alien culture that's been introduced. So this creates more racism. This creates more right-wing parties to rise. Hey, wait a minute. The leaders look at this. Hey, wait, no, this can't be because of our policy. We don't want this racism. It says, according to ideas, to end racism, we must have more unchecked immigration and open borders. So they'll intensify on that. And thus the cycle of self-destruction continues. As you can see, the piss-poor diet, the cosmopolitan way, and unchecked immigration all share the same thing. They're all designed to set you up for failure. And they do that because they know that when you fail, you will double down on the prescribed method to do so, and thus slowly destroy yourself and become more adherent to the ideals or the leader of the movement. The more you destroy yourself, the more submissive you become, the more fanatical and more adherent you become to your ideals or the ideals that you hold. It is diabolical and fucking sick. But I will talk more about how this works in other ideologies. I will demonstrate the structure is apparent into many views.